Sometimes we as adults, we need to play. We need to get dirty and messy and not do your hair and smell. Maybe you smelled my armpits last night. She did. They're bad. And even now. No, I cleaned them before coming. Zentangle. Where's the word come from?
So Zen for your mindfulness and your calm, and tangles because it's lots of patterns that interweave together.
What's the biggest issue that you find that people have when they sit down to sit down and draw? Because we don't do this as adults.
They don't. The immediate one is, I can't draw. I'm not an artist. And it's like, art comes in many different ways. Just put the pen on the paper and see what happens. It's as soon as they come over the first hurdle and just pick it up and go, and even if it's just copying something, then all of a sudden their creativity starts to come up. But the initial hurdle of, I'm not good enough, I can't do this.
So, and that's interesting that you give that phrase at the end there, because that's something I've struggled with for a long time, and I'm not good enough. But in the form of art, it's always been about creativity and just kind of let it flow. And the other part that you mentioned is about the limitation that people immediately, or the label of what an artist is.
Yeah. And it's, chefs are artists. They create something on a plate. Just because it's on a piece of paper, it doesn't mean it's art. Anytime you put something together, a gardener is creating art of a form. And I think people have this expectation in themselves that it has to be perfect. You have to colour inside the lines. You have to be like this, and it has to look good to show people. It doesn't. The process of it is, as you say, to flow and let go and just explore and see what comes up.
And color outside, it's a powerful phrase. Color outside the lines, because that's life. And I did an intro. I'll show that later. I did an intro to my experience here at Bawah in the room earlier, and exactly what I said is sometimes we as adults, we need to play. We need to get dirty and messy and not do your hair and smell. Maybe you smelled my armpits last night. She did. They're bad. And even now. No, I cleaned them before coming. But you gotta get messy sometimes. Yeah. And take your shoes off. And
there's George Bernard Shaw said, you don't get old, I gotta get it right around. You don't stop playing because you get old because you stop playing. And we've come in art, in movement, in seeing things, we've lost our curiosity. Well, why does this, the question why, well, why does that happen? And where does it go when it does this? That's what my mum said. I was the 2-year-old who just constantly went, well, why? And because she didn't always have the answer, she was like, I don't know, Lisa. I'm like, okay, why don't you know? Don't know.
The perpetual why.
Yeah, it was. And
we were the two pain in the ass kids. We're always like, but what is that? What happens? And I still do that today. That was me at lunch. What is this? What are the benefits? What comes with this? How is this made? What's your favorite dish? And then he tells me, and I'm like,
what was his favorite dish?
A chicken something, and then another like meat dish.
Oh, it's gotta be
dung meat dish or something. And he goes, oh, but you're vegetarian. And I was like, yep, so I can't try that one, but
tomato sauce, maybe. I found myself though, every now and again I realised, wow, I lost my curiosity. I play with movement and I try different things, but I've also realised in myself recently that I've stopped going, well, what happens if I do this? It's like, oh my God, what happens if you do that? What's the worst that could possibly happen? There's nothing bad that's going to happen, really, because I know I'll always be able to find a new job or do something. So it's just what this says, and then hearing what other people, oh, you can't do that, what about this? And you're like, it's what we said earlier, what people put their expectations on us and their anxieties and insecurities, and I'm like, hang on a minute, they're yours. You keep them? Yeah. You can keep them, because I don't want them, and I figured them out, and I'm not going to take them back. Thank you very much.
I find, and this relates to what you were just saying about leaving and moving and doing something, and people are like, but you can't do that. And it's interesting because I found when I left my job in graphic design, in the marketing department, I left. People were like, but you can't leave Life is Good. And I was like, yes, I can. And I can go do yoga and teach. And this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And then 3 people left shortly after me. So it's not because the place was terrible. It's a great place to work. But they've been wanting to, but they never put down their own limitations to say something else can happen.
There's, do you know the quote by Marianne Williamson? Yes. Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Yeah, that's one of I have part of it tattooed on me. Because that's the thing, we all, if we're not careful, I know we do it, we do dampen ourselves more because of what other people might think, or the fear, and like, oh, you'll think, oh, and it's like, no, I'm just being me. I'm just being me. And when you do that, the quote is right, when you do it and you start going, you know what, I'm going to do this, and it's all okay, in a humble way, not in an arrogant way, and I think that's partly the difference too, then people see it and they go, oh, it's possible. Yeah, it is possible. Give it a go. Which is back to this, it's the same. It's just like the minute I go, look, I just pick up a pen and I do a circle, and they go, oh, okay. And I go, I'll do this, look.
I like
And then I just do a triangle here, and then I might do a swirl. And even though mine might be rough and they go, oh, I see. And you're like, yeah, that's all it is. And they're like, that's all it is. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, but that's easy. And I'm like, wow, life can be easy. How's that? Let's try an easy life, because it's kind of nice sometimes to not get caught up in it all. And
simplicity. That goes back to something else. Lisa and I we have a long connection that we didn't know about until about a month ago. But very similar to what I shared earlier too, is sometimes you realize in trips like this especially that you can live much happier on less, and not having as many things. And a home, and a car, and
I don't have it in
white fence, and
one of the drawings I have is life of less.
Yeah, so it's more.
Yeah,
it's greater than. Okay, we're gonna keep drawing here. So I have these going on. I have just playing with shapes.
I have no law. I might make it something.
We'll see after. I need to add a little more color.
Here's another one I did. Here's one I prepared earlier.
It's like when you're the cooking shows. We're gonna take this and we're gonna put the recipe together. And ding! And look what came out of the oven. Wow, you wanna try?
Love it.
Okay, so Zentangle. Tango. What is a tango?
You can make a new one up. It's a dance.
Oh, I like this.
That's the other best saying, that life is a dance. What music do you want to go by?